Hello Internet. We are going to be watching a Ryan Kelly video on Smith& Wesson. Let's begin.
Hey, Smith and Wesson, what do you make, buddy?
We like things that spin.
Ooh,
Me too.
I like things that
Buddy.
spin.
What the hell is going on?
Well, our founders, Horace Smith and Daniel B. Wesson, perfected the first reliable self-contained metallic cartridge, the 22 short.
Wait, you invented the modern bullet?
We put it all together and perfected it, and then we built the first revolver that could fire it, the Model 1.
Real creative name there, bud.
Thank you. Before us, gunslingers were fumbling around with loose powder and percussion caps. We made shooting simple, reliable, and accessible to everyone. We're like Apple of the 19th century guns.
Okay, you're the iPhone of boom. Got it. So the cylinder in the revolver spins, the bullet spins because of the rifling. It's not that much spin.
Well, a company with our advanced metalworking skills and manufacturing prowess couldn't be tied down to just one industry. We had spinny side projects.
What kind of spinny side projects?
In the late 1890s, America was gripped by a national obsession, a new craze for personal transportation. So we started making bicycles.
Wait, the gun guys made bicycles?
The finest in the world, the Smith & Wesson
Well,
safety
it makes
bicycle.
sense.
It had a
You've
unique
got
frame and
metal
even a special shaft
forging.
drive model so you wouldn't get grease on your trousers. It was a marvel of engineering. We thought bike wheels spin, revolvers spin. Same, but different.
I genuinely can't tell if this logic is brilliant or insane.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Fair.
I don't
Okay, so
think
you did
it's
that in the
even related.
1890s. What came next? Oh no.
Hey, can I have an ADHD break?
Ah, the most sponsored of tangents. Go ahead.
It is, it pays for our editor, and assumedly is therapy for having to listen to us screw up lines for hours and hours on end.
Poor guy, I can barely handle my own inside thoughts, much less the outside thoughts that I've messed up.
Yeah, okay, that might say more about you, but you know what says a lot about you?
My cats, I choose to believe what they're saying about me is mostly positive, but honestly, probably a pretty mixed bag.
No, the internet. Anything you post, sign up for, or use can sell your data and personal information, which
Yes.
is just baffling that that's allowed.
Yeah.
And then there's the data brokers, which are profiting off of this by collating all the data in the easily purchasable package of your name, address, phone number, and more. They're like ready-made stalking kits. Oh no.
Yeah, I've been stalked and honestly,
Traded
can't
on an
recommend.
exchange.
We're sponsored. Delete Me can help with that. They send hundreds of takedown requests to data brokers telling them to lose your data. And legally, they have to.
I can really swipe or no swiping my data.
You can, but if you did it yourself, it would take dozens of hours. And Delete Me takes care of it for you.
Nice. Okay, you wouldn't tell me about this if there wasn't a discount.
Correct. For anyone who might be eavesdropping on the conversation, if you want 20% off
placement.
Delete Me's consumer plan, you can use the code Ryan Kelly
Ryan
or use the link in the
Kelly.
description so that you can be a little less findable.
Thanks,
Delete
Lingy,
my
for
personal
sponsoring this
data
video
off
and
the
keeping us
internet.
rolling. All right, buddy, back to guns and more.
World War Waters, we say when the Kaiser and friends did our marketing for us.
Okay, what'd you make?
Well, since the U.S. likes to be fashionably late to world wars, we sent tens of thousands of our 455 hand injector revolvers to the Brits and the Geneva Convention-loving Canadians.
455. Why the weird caliber?
I don't know.
Used
they're
for
British.
officers
They
to
put
send the
beans
man
on
over the
toast.
line.
Who knows why they do what they
Hey,
do? But
beans
the
on toast is
455
good.
caliber was 11.5 millimeters, so that thing hit like a big, slow freight train.
Okay, so America pops in and...
They were like, we need more sidearms, and we showed them our 455, and they were like, well, okay, not like that. And then they showed us the incredible Colt 1911 and its 45 ACP, and said, make it shoot that. So we made 150,000 M1917 revolvers.
Wouldn't a revolver be bad for war? Because, you know, 6 shots and then really long reload time?
Yes,
Get
it
a
would.
7
That's why Joseph
shotgun.
Wesson invented the
That's
half-moon
how you
clip.
solve it.
Just a stamped piece of metal that can hold 3 shots and eject 3 spent cartridges lickety-split most of the time.
Okay, one quick question. What do you
That
mean
doesn't sound like
most
that'll
of the time?
hold
Well,
together
blue
for a
clips are just
spinning
a stamped
object.
piece of metal, so if they get a little bent, they could, make the revolver not cycle or be tough to remove. It was kind of a gamble. Do you want to reload slowly or fastly with the caveat of maybe not at all?
Okay, so what next?
Well, after World War I, the demand for military arms dropped off a cliff. We had all these factories and skilled workers, so we had to pivot. We looked at the modern American home and asked, what does this need? A revolver for every man, woman, child, and dog? Not for the cats, obviously. Oh,
Kitty!
we use it way too often.
No! It needed clean clothes and dishes, so we started making washing machines and dishwashers. Washing machine buddies. Spinny.
Are you telling me that for a while Smith & Wesson was a home appliance company? Winston, can you believe that?
We were a domestic solutions provider. Need things clean? Smith & Wesson. Need that guy out of your house? Smith & Wesson.
Okay, stain remover and stain creator. got it.
But we didn't stop there. We also identified a critical need sanitation. And so we developed and sold a line of chemical toilets.
You went from 6-shooters to cycles to shitters?
Yeah, we provided an end stage to the cycle of food. We also make breathalyzers and handcuffs. For police officers!
I didn't know. This is the weirdest product line for a gun company I've...
False insemination.
Never mind. Speaking of that accent, what'd you do for the Second World War?
Well, the British called together. They were like, hey, there's this guy, weird mustache, claims to be the master race, but has all the health and looks of a Cronenberg monster. Can we have some 38s to go deal with that? And so we did.
And how'd it go?
They probably should have asked for a bigger caliber. Turns out the Germans were pretty kitted out with weapons and gear and
Okay, so America pops in late, and...
They needed revolvers for everything. Lend-lease for our pals, sidearms for our aviators, for the most gangster flybys ever.
Come on, no one did that.
Wait, ADHD tour. Owen J. Baggett had a parachute
A
from the
flyby
B-24
shooting?
bomber in 1943, and a Japanese pilot was getting ready to, break a rule of war.
What? The Japanese commit crimes against humanity during World War II?
I don't
He
believe
then apparently
it.
drew his 1911 and domed his would-be war crimer. Apparently, some other American air crew
was a
reported seeing
flyby
it.
shooting.
Some historians dispute it, but honestly, f them. They weren't there, and that's badass as hell.
All right, buddy.
Oh yeah, we made over 1 million victory model revolvers for Australia, Canada, Britain, South Africa, for guards at bases and factories.
Here's a trophy
If a
gun.
person could
Enjoy.
carry a revolver, they probably did. It was probably ours.
Well, that all sounds like a real successful time for you guys.
Well, kinda. We also made one of the worst and most spectacular failures in the history of military firearms.
What the hell? Did you make revolvers with the barrel pointing backwards?
No, we made the model 1940 light rifle. Terrible from start to finish.
A
Horribly
rifle,
complicated,
an
wildly
automatic,
unreliable,
they
and
tried to
prone
make a
breaking.
machine gun.
The British wanted something they could airdrop to resistance fighters, but the only resistance this was going to provide was as a paperweight.
Ooh, not good.
Yeah, at the end of the war, the British took all but 5 of these that we sent them and cut them in half and yeeted them into the sea.
Ah, message received.
Yeah, but hey, we were finding ourselves. By the way, do you need a submachine gun? I got a Model 76 here. It was meant for Navy SEALs.
What?
Yeah, that was most people's response. Eventually, we always went back to our first love, things that spin. In the 60s and 70s, we made a ton of J-frame revolvers, like the Model 36. They were affordable and easily concealable.
Wait, do you mean the Saturday night specials? Didn't those get heavily associated with crime and...
We prefer the term democratized personal
Just keep it in
defense
your
options.
pocket.
We also
That's
worked
nice
with
and
Albert Keith
portable.
to develop a new extremely powerful cartridge and revolver. This became the 44 Magnum and the Model 29. You could say it would make my day.
Ah, Clint, got it. What happened after that?
Well, our commitment to the community eventually got us into a bit of hot water.
What?
By the late 90s, gun violence was a big topic. Cities were filing massive lawsuits against us and other manufacturers. And at the time, we were owned by a British company called Tompkins PLC.
Wait, the knife crime people sold gun crime?
We also make knives. It was a confusing time. Our British owners didn't really have an appetite for a protracted legal war. So in 2000, we decided to be proactive. We did what the British do. We ignored the American companies and went behind their backs. And then we cut a deal with the Clinton administration.
What kind of deal?
There have been a lot of safety features like internal locking mechanisms on all our guns, which could rarely, just lock itself on accident. Spend millions developing technology to make it only fire for an authorized user. Smart gun tech, which never really worked. And we'd only sell to dealers who agreed to our special code of conduct. In exchange, the government would drop the lawsuits against us. We thought it was a brilliant business move.
How'd your customers react
Did
to
it
that?
work?
I saw it as the ultimate betrayal. The Clinton and Wesson boycott went nationwide.
Nope,
We were almost
did not
destroyed
work.
overnight. Our sales fell off a cliff and we almost went bankrupt. But good news, it was the last time that we were ever sued for our guns being used in horrifying things.
It wasn't, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so with everything going wrong, how are you still here?
We were sold for pennies on the dollar to an American company that immediately and publicly trashed the entire agreement with the government. But we needed something big to let people know that we were back, baby.
And what was that?
We created the Model 500.
What's the Model 500? It's not just a whole bunch of your Model 1 stapled together, is it?
It's the most powerful production handgun in the world. It fires a massive 50 caliber round that can, and I quote
Why
our
do you
marketing
need to
team,
fire a
take
50
down any
caliber
game
round?
animal on the planet. It's a hand cannon. It's roughly twice the power of a Desert Eagle.
It's a
This thing is the gun
boomstick.
you want if we invent
Nope, not
time
even a
travel
stick.
and you go back to the Cretaceous.
A
You
boom
saved
twig.
yourself by building a revolver that could kill a T-Rex.
Exactly. We learned a valuable lesson. You can make things that spin. Revolvers, bicycles, washing machines. But when you need to apologize, you make the biggest spinny of them all.
Then what the hell was GE apologizing for?